So how do you approach professional development, and what advice did you wish you knew when you started out?
Good question. I would say in terms of professional development, and I guess less of something I wish I knew, but something that I think I've really used a great deal in my life. And I think it's really good advice, which is I think that we have a very specific notion of mentorship in the corporate world. And I think it has this kind of like vision of like a very senior, very experienced elder statesperson, and then a very inexperienced younger person. And I think that there have been plenty of those very influential people in my life, but I'd say some of the largest influences for me have actually been my peers. And I think that as you are growing your career in the space, regardless of what it is, you should be looking around to the people that you respect in your company, how they present in a meeting, how they come up with creative ideas, what they do for a living. They don't necessarily have to be very senior to you. They could in fact be junior to you, but you want to learn about what they do for a living. And that's actually how I like learned all like my boot camp in sales. I learned from my head of sales when at one of my companies. I was the head of marketing. She was the head of sales. We are literal peers in age, but I didn't know anything about her business.
Mm-hmm.
And she let me come on all her calls. She taught me everything she knew, and we invested in each other. And that was really kind of a defining moment for me. That I was like, oh, I'm good at this. I like what they do, and I can benefit from it. And like that was just a really kind of amazing exposure point. So I think to as anyone is trying to and grow their career, that it's not just thinking about like who is super successful, who is super established, who are like the scions of your industry, but also thinking about like who else is cool, who do you like, who do you respect, who does something cool that you think is interesting. And even if you don't want to do that exact job, maybe there's something in there that is interesting and you didn't know that there was somebody who's responsible for coming up with amazing Twitter graphics, or that was someone's job, right? But you will discover that through talking with people. So I'd say that that's something that I would definitely think about. The other thing I want to say, and David had said that most of the people that had signed up for this seminar were women.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say to all the women out there, just know that all of your male peers are reaching out very aggressively to everybody in esports for opportunities. And I'm saying that with all the love in my heart because I receive many, like hundreds in a year, and less than 4% of those are from women. And I just want everyone to know that like, you got to get in there. If you have interest, hit me up on LinkedIn. I don't respond to everything, truthfully, but I'll say that I always respond to women who reach out because it's very few and far between. And just know that like the men out there are pursuing this very aggressively, and just the hiring process is long and hard. And when you are a busy person in an organization and you need to hire, you're looking to your network to hire people, and like what's easiest, what's fast, who has like traction with you already. And people hire from their networks. And if their networks look and feel and sound like them, then they are going to hire people that look and feel and sound like them. So be there, be in their feeds, be in their inboxes, send your resume around, try and get a Zoom coffee, whatever it is. I encourage everyone to be aggressive because that's not something I personally see a lot of. And I think that everyone would benefit from.
For sure. I mean, I think that's two really key pieces of advice, especially the first. It reminds me of a quote that I really like from Bill Nye, that everyone you will ever meet knows something that you don't. And I think that's such an important thing, especially within esports, where there are so many different elements to it. Like, each of us here each have our own sort of corner, as it will, and each have different skills and different backgrounds, so we can all learn something from each other. So yeah, I think the fact that you took the time to learn your co-workers' businesses and what they do and what they excel at is a fantastic way to grow yourself.